From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to OpenLine. I'm Carrie Sharp, we have a great show for you. One of the things I love about OpenLine, I get to learn, you get to learn about great things going on in this city and things that are hopefully working to make this city, the IT City, even better and better. I want to introduce you to Marcia Edwards, the President and CEO of the Martha O'Brien Center. Thank you for being here. You guys are doing hard work that is so necessary in this city. You've been with the Martha O'Brien Center for 16 years now.
Right.
You know the ins and outs of all of it, and that's what we're going to talk about over the next year. But I just want to start, first of all, by saying if you have a question about the Martha O'Brien Center and the services they provide, where they are, what they're doing, where they want to go, call us now. We're going to answer your questions over the next hour. So the number's right there on the screen. You know it by now if you watch. Give us a call. In the meantime, let's start at the beginning.
Sure.
What is the Martha O'Brien Center? Where did it start? What's the mission?
Well, we are an anti-poverty organization, so what we are is a kind of a cradle-to-career human services organization, and so that means a lot of things. We do believe that when you combine great educational opportunities, and that's for the whole family, that's for adults as well as kids, with economic stability, and that means jobs, that means job access, all the things around employment. When you put those two things in the same place, people will rise. And so what we're seeing in our work right now is that families are leaving poverty, and the young people, it is the young children, it is the young adults that are coming out of these families now that are moving into the middle class. And so I think that is the focus of our work. So if you look at, we have about 6 or 7 different educational strategies. We're working through 2 employment programs right now. The other thing that's important to say around our work is that every family, no matter who you are, whatever your economic situation is, hardship comes, you know, tragedy comes. And so we have a really strong family support team that is there for those times so that people can survive when things go wrong. If you go into our GED class, for example, and you ask people, like, you know, why did you leave high school? Because we'll have people in that class that left high school in their senior year. And it's always a story of some sort of family tragedy that the family never really recovered from. And sometimes you'll have a 40-year-old woman that's still impacted by that trauma. So what we really try to do is make sure that family support kind of undergirds all our programs so that families can continue to move forward to whatever their dream is.
And you are boots on the ground in Casey Place and Sudicum and Napier, our poorest areas of our city and neighborhoods. We're going to talk about all the different programs and what those neighborhoods look like, because a lot of people just don't know. But first, we do have a caller on the line. We have Sherman on the line. Always encourage and welcome callers. Sherman, go ahead.
Yes, I have a question for her. First, if Hillary Clinton is elected president, she wants a millionaire and billionaires tax. I believe if that millionaire and billionaires tax should pass, it'll make it harder for the O'Brien Center and kill all nonprofits' efforts to raise money. I'm asking your organization to oppose it because it will make it harder for you. And should I win the lottery this weekend, I'll give you a few $1 million to your organization because I believe in what you all do. But again, that millionaire billionaires tax must be defeated. We don't need to make it harder for fine organizations like you to raise money. I thank you very much.
Sherman, thank you for being a part of the show tonight. And I'm sure raising money is part of the grand scheme of things to get accomplished what you want accomplished.
It is. I mean, the truth of the matter is Martha O'Brien can only do what Nashvillians see is a high priority. And so education has been one of those things that we've said, you know, we are the IT City, but we really need to do what I think, I think what we want is what everybody wants, no matter where you are on the education kind of continuum, whether you're a college professor or you're a mom of a 5-year-old. We just want a great school in every neighborhood, at every age, for every kid. And so I think we're very excited to see Dr. Joseph come and hear him. I was able to speak with him at lunch today, and I think that is we are having sort of a new day in thinking about how our schools can meet the needs of the kids that are in that building.
And you were telling me before the show, and I think this really puts it in perspective of what we are up against, even as the IT city.
Right.
Give us a snapshot of the school system, the public school system in Nashville.
Yes, well, I think today they said that we have about 88,000 kids in our school district, which does make our public school district one of the top 50, 40 in the country. But about 60 to 65,000, I think 63,000 was the number last year, are low-income kids. And then there's a large percentage of the kids that are living, and these are the kids mainly that we serve at Martha O'Brien, they're living on half of the poverty line. So if the poverty line for a family of 3 is somewhere around that 18,000 mark, we're talking about families living on less than $9,000. So those kids have unique needs. They are just as talented, just as funny and bright and great as everybody else, but they need more when they come to school. If you have less at home, you need more at school. You need more in your community center. You need more in your church or your synagogue or your mosque. So that's, I think, what Dr. Joseph is really looking at. From what I heard from him today at lunch, was that we need to really make our schools just the most wonderful place, but they have to be really accustomed to the children that are in that school.
When 3/4 of the school population is living below the poverty line, you have to tailor your school programming to that population.
Right, right.
You can't expect it to look like this
No.
school system over here that has different issues.
That's
this
right.
is our school system.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think the thing, I mean, if you really think about this, just, you know, from my point of view, I look at it from the child's point of view. And, you know, I've told people, I said, you know, why have you, invested in some of the things you have, and why have you expanded so much in education? It's because every day I see the parents of the children in our neighborhood walk past my office window to go to the food bank because they can't earn enough at $8 an hour, and sometimes irregular hours, to feed their kids 3 meals a day, 30 days a year.
Yeah.
So what we are looking at is like, look at the children that are at low income in our school district. If we invest in them now, we have an incredible future in the city. But there's no question, if they don't get a good education and they can't take care of themselves and take care of those people they love, then that's going to have a massive impact on our city.
Yes.
Because they're going to grow up and have families just like everybody else, but they have to have that earning ability. So it's one of the things we say at Stratford High School at our Academic Student Union: you graduate with a plan for a graduation. You know, if you graduate again, you're going to be fine. And so it's for what we're trying to really do at Stratford and Maplewood, and the 2 high schools that we have deep programs in, is to really set that mindset of education, building on your own expertise and talents as you go through life. Not that even if maybe you're the first person in your high school that, or in your family, that has graduated from high school, and that's wonderful, and we'll celebrate it, but we're moving on to the next matriculation.
Right, there's always a next step.
Yes.
There's always a goal. This is not the stopping point.
Absolutely.
And it really, education is the key to making change. And from the very, very little babies, it just starts right there, doesn't it?
That's right. That's right. I think that, I think one of the things that is sometimes misunderstood is that everybody wants the same thing for their children.
Yeah.
And they want the same thing for their family life. They want a safe home. They want a great job. They want a good education for their kids. Everybody wants those 3 things. Throw a backyard in there. Most of our neighbors, most of the people we serve always say a backyard too. But I think that sometimes that access hasn't been there, or families haven't known how to get to that place for all 3 of those things. So that's what we really have decided for our organization. You're wearing a polka dotted dress today, so I'll say that's one of my analogies, that sometimes social services or nonprofits, we're kind of like a polka dotted dress. We're serving 20 kids here, we're serving 70 kids here, but these things don't connect on the family level. And so what we've tried to do at Martha O'Brien is match educational opportunity with economic stability, jobs, and then undergird that with the family support when trouble comes, so that families continue to move forward. We do believe, and we're we're seeing it, that when you do that, you break generational poverty in one generation, and it is in that generation. It is that younger families.
I want to talk about those success stories. We have a lot of ground to cover over the next, 15 minutes. So I want to talk about give me a snapshot, and we'll do this after the break. I want a snapshot of the Casey Place home, Sudicum, Napier. What are we talking about? What is it like to live there?
Okay.
And then also the success stories that have come out of the program. So we're going to dive into all that. Again, we welcome your phone calls. We'll get them lined up during the break. Stay with us.